Okay, so this is our second set of notes from genetics. A little further along now, hopefully you've learned about Punnett squares, had a chance to try those out, and you've studied a little bit more on Mendel and dihybrid crosses, all that kind of stuff. Now today we're going to look at some stuff that's a little bit different, some like little nuances in genetics and how traits are passed on. Before this we've been looking at pairs of alleles. So you have like widow's peak or straight hairline. You have two possibilities. You have one allele for widow's peak, one allele for straight hair, and then depending on what two you get and which one's dominant or recessive, that determines the trait you have. These are not that simple. So, and there's really four main ones you need to understand for this. Okay, the first one is called incomplete dominance, and its name really tells you all about it. It's incomplete. And what it means is neither trait is dominant over the other. And this is the one where they were thinking, because they would see this in nature originally and think this is what it was. You know, you have something red, something white, they blend together and you get pink. Okay, that does happen, but it's not the general case. Okay, but incomplete dominance is the situation where the combination of two alleles results in a blending of traits. So like white flower, red flower ends up with a pink. So you have this white flower type of plant. The same type of plant that's got these red flowers though, you cross them and you get pink flowers. A whole new trait, or a whole new phenotype that you didn't see before. Okay? And whenever you see that in any cross, you should be looking for one of these weird types where you have these two possibilities, you cross them, then you get a third type. And say, what's up with that? Well, that's one is incomplete dominance. And how you could really test this is when you take your white plant, your red plant, cross and you get a pink, then you take some of the pink F1 generations, cross them, and see their offspring, and you would see the white and the red reappear. And you have two generations. So that's incomplete dominance. A lot of times flowers have this specific type of inheritance or dominance. Another one is kind of a similar thing. It's codominance, and this is the deal where they're both dominant. So both are expressed in the phenotype. And with that, you have like a striped or some kind of pattern. And again, you have a new phenotype. So you might have a red and a white. Let me do this. So red, let's say R, and a white, W. What you get is a red and a white flower. It can be like patterned a certain way, partly half is red, half is white, or it's red and white stripes, whatever. But it's a new phenotype. None of them are, you take the red and the white and you cross them, they're all a mixture. None of them are red, none of them are just white. They're both red and white. That's an F1 though. If we took the F1s and we crossed them, we'd see in the F2 generation, the red would reappear, the white would reappear, but also you'd have some that are both red and white. That's codominance. A couple more here. Okay. Another third one is polygenetic traits. And this is the idea where it's controlled by two or more genes. And really good examples are skin color and eye color. So there's more than one gene controlling this. So you might have one gene that controls production of one thing, and then another one controls the production of something else, and then those two come together to produce your skin color or your eye color. That's polygenetic traits. Polygenes, more than one. It can be 3, 4. I think height is another example of polygenetic trait. It's more than one thing working together to produce a specific trait. The last one is kind of really interesting, I think. It's called multiple alleles. This is where before we had widow's peak, straight hair. We had two possibilities. This is the deal. We have more than two. You can have 3, 4 alleles, and depending on how they cross, you get a certain type of trait. This really, if you look back at codominance and incomplete dominance, they kind of fit this. but not quite. A good example, though, is blood type. So depending on what type of blood you have A, B, you can have AB, or you can have O. 3 different types. And each one of these is an allele. There's the A allele, the B allele, and the O allele. Depending on how you cross them, that gives you your specific blood type that you have. And that's an example of multiple allele. There's other ones too, but the most common one is blood type. And I encourage you to check out the blood typing game. It really gives you a good explanation of this. And then it lets you try to learn how they do that. So I encourage you to check out that blood typing game. It's an assignment for you to do. And if we continue here, actually is it, okay? So that's our notes for the other types of dominance, pretty short, but make sure you look in the book, check these out, get some examples: incomplete dominance, codominance, polygenic traits, and multiple alleles. So they're like the exception. So usually you have 2 traits, or 2 alleles for a specific trait. Here we have differences, little nuances. Make sure you check it out, and you're reading, and fill in the guided notes. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you later.